Welcome to TechbrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to use fail activity in Azure Data Factory. So before the fail activity, there was multiple ways that people use different kind of logics or tricks to fail their pipeline or show that there's a fail in some. And most of the time, people use the set variable with the, some divisions and all those kind of things. But now there is a fail activity that can be used in Azure Data Factory pipeline, and that can make the pipeline fail. So let's go ahead and take a look on this scenario. First of all, what I have here, I have this is my Azure portal, and on the Azure portal I have a blob storage, and in the blob storage I have a container, and then in the container I have a file. The file has some records, so it has ID and name column, and then ID1 Amir Shehzad, and then second Raza Ali Shehzad. So okay, so what I have here, then I created a table called the stage customer, and this is integer, and then I created with the name varchar 13. So what I want to do when I load this file with the more than 13 characters, I want this copy activity to fail. Okay, and then we will look into that how exactly we handle other parts of it. Now let's go to the portal here, and right there, and we will go to the Azure Data Factory. So my Azure Data Factory name is TechbrothersIT ADF. Let's open the studio, and now we will create a new pipeline. Go to author, and here we are going to create a new pipeline. Leave this pipeline one as it is, so we will use copy activity. And now I will be reading the data from source, so that's our CSV file. Go to the Azure Blob Storage, and now once we go to the Azure Blob Storage CSV file, yes, and then we create a new linked service. We have to provide the subscription, and then we have to provide the storage name. In this case, the name comes to Azure Blob Storage 2. That's fine. Now we will go to the container and select the file. And this first row has header, yes, hit OK. Now we are reading this file just fine, and we would like to write this file data to the table. So I'm going to go to sync and create new, and Azure SQL DB. So here we will be creating a new linked service, and I will be providing my subscription name, my SQL server name, and database name TechbrothersDB, and then we will provide authentication, that's the username and the password. Okay, so it created Azure SQL Database 2 linked service for us. So here, go ahead and create. And now we will select the table. And if you remember that our table name is it's still failed to load. What happened here? So let me see. It's still loading. Okay, let's go back and take a look. Maybe the password was incorrect or something like that. Let's cancel this out. Go back here, Azure, and that's what it is. Linked service test connection. Okay, so maybe the password is incorrect, but shouldn't have created. Okay, so let's test connection again. Now this time it is successful. Apply, and now we should be good. Okay, so we select, we refresh the table list, and it's gonna show us a table. So select the table and hit OK. My column names are exactly same, so I don't have to worry about mapping and all that, because they are same in the table and in the file. So you see that right there, ID and name. So this is exactly I have in the file. Now if I can go ahead and execute my pipeline, and this is gonna just run, and then it's queued right now. Now today I just want to tell you guys this is very slow. Anyways, so what happened? It failed. It says that SQL bulk copy failed due to the receive an invalid column length from the BCP client disk. So remember that I have varchar 13, that's the total length of my column, and the name is, and I have the data that's more characters than that specific column values. So that's why it failed. Now if I go right here, what's going to happen? I'm going to go into the right here in debug. I'm seeing this one as a failed. But sometimes what you do, people want to send an email, so they would like to send an email in case their pipeline fails. Now they will use a different web activity to send an email, but in my case I'm not going to set up the entire thing. I'm going to just use the wait activity. And think about that, this is a web activity and I'm connecting this error out to my wait activity there, and I'm sending the email saying send an email, okay, for error. Okay, so you see that now I have my copy activity and then I have my wait activity. So if this fails, then it's going to send an email. So let's run this again and take a look what happened. So in this case, if you notice that there are two things had happened. One, our copy activity failed, you can see right there, and then our wait activity passed, so you can see that's successful. But if I go to the monitor, you know what I should be seeing? I'm seeing success. That's not really correct because my copy activity failed. If you guys remember that, see right there, the copy activity failed. Okay, so that's not correct, and we should be failing our entire pipeline because we failed one of the activity right there. But as the logic said that it's doing what it's supposed to do, you are saying, hey, run the copy activity, and in case of failure of this, run this one. So logically this is completing successfully as the entire pipeline. But this activity is failing, so we would like to introduce something that should fail or show the failed in our executions here. So we can, in the monitoring, you can see that this entire pipeline is failed. So to handle that part, that's where the fail activity is introduced. So you can go right there, put a fail activity there, and in this case I will you have a name fail, and you have settings there. You can have a fail message, and where you can have the error code. Now if I click at in here in canvas and go to the output, I can take a look on this guy and see the 2200, that's the error code, and I can say the invalid column length or whatever the error I want to show. So I'm going to go to the fail activity here, and I'm going to say error code and invalid column length. Okay, that's error. Okay, so I can probably error code. Okay, so I can do something like that. Now if I will execute my pipeline, it will fail on copy activity, and then it will send an email because of the failure constraint we have right here, and then it will fail the entire pipeline, and the status will be failed. So that's how this is very useful, and it will create no confusion in cases your pipeline had been failing. And if you use this fail activity, you will see that in the your monitoring, you will see that the pipeline had been failing. Instead of saying like, oh, it's completed, but when you go inside, you will see like, oh, one of them failed and other are passed. So okay, so that's where it's going to be very helpful for you to see the right information by using that. So in cases, let's go back here and we can see right there. Let me go to the monitoring actually, and here that's it failed. And now if we go right there, so in the outputs we can see right there error sending an email, and it is failed. And we can see that error code right there, invalid column length, and that's the error that's generated by the fail activity. Okay, so this is really helpful. As I was telling you before, that people was using a lot of tricks to handle these situations. They were using set variable, and where they will divide some constant number with another number and all that to create this type of failures. Now they can use the fail activity to mark their pipeline as failed in case of these type of situations. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video will help, and I will see you guys in the next video.